Okay then guys, welcome back to the next part of building the hydra kit. So what I'm going to do now is, I've gone ahead now and I can find it, we've got to get off the turret. I've gone ahead now, I've magnetised the barrels on this one. Ready? So it can become a wyvern and a hydra. One little problem I will note is I don't know how I'm going to magnetise the gun barrels for the actual wyvern. I'm thinking about leaving them off. I really don't know how I'm going to magnetise them. So I might do that at a later stage once I think of something for the time being. So what I'm going to do is now I'm just going to show you how quickly, magnetise them. My magnets, I'm not the best at it yet, but now I've done one, I've got a rough idea what we need. So what we need is some green stuff, and these are, I need my tape, these are 3mm by 1mm magnets, and they are pretty strong, but they don't really need to be the strongest, it's just there just in case, so they help. You could actually do it without the magnets. It's just you need something just to hold them in place, because when you put the actual gun barrel in, like this one isn't the magnetized one, the gun will go a bit too far and you kind of need it to sit a bit like that. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to begin by doing this bit. All you have to do is take a barrel, line it up roughly, and work out how far you need your green stuff to go in. Then put the two pieces together, blob the green stuff in like that. Then use the barrel to press it back, so you know how far it's got to sit, but don't push it all the way back yet. And then repeat the same process for the next bit. So just roll up into a bit of a sausage like that, place it in, put the two halves back together, and just line it up like so. So with that bit done now, we can just begin by gluing the two halves of the barrel together for now. So just use plenty of glue, hold these two together. And glue them. Just squeeze them together best you can, or try and find my elastic band, which I had a couple of seconds ago, which I was twiddling with, saying that you probably won't need an elastic band for that. Now while that dries, we're just going to clip out one barrel, and I'm going to show you how to do this process quickly, and I'll do the other one off camera just to speed things up. So far we're looking at roughly, we're only half hour into the actual build session, which is a bit longer when you do it on cam. So you need the two barrels, which are labelled 21 and 34, and the other half of the muzzle flash, which is labelled as 43. And so we'll clean up these parts now. A bit of any gates markings on these. Any more lines off More lines haven't actually been a very big problem on this kit, but that's probably because it's newer. So give it a couple of years, this thing will be a horrible thing for more lines. And you just want to glue the muzzle flash to the actual barrel. So big glue there, big glue there. And not stick to my hand for 2 seconds. That would be really helpful, and it would also be very good if I give it on the right way. Just clean off any excess glue. And that's the first barrel done. Next you want to do a pinhole with your knife in the back end, which is roughly centre of the barrel with your knife, as a pilot hole for your drill. And you want to take off these little notches on the side of the barrel by here, which will stop it from going in the actual gun. Next you're going to want a 3mm drill bit in your pin vise, and when we made that pilot hole over there with the knife, you're going to want to drill about 3mm in for the magnet to hold. Pull out the extra drill bits and then just clean up the hole with your knife. Then get a small blob of green stuff. Place it in, like so. Get your knife, cut off the excess like that. Get your then get your sculpting tool and pack it into the hole like that. Then what did I just do with these magnets? What did I just do with those magnets? Right there by here. Then what you're going to want to do is, I like to put 2 magnets in at a time. Place them in like so. So there's 2 there, and then press them on the table firmly. Press them in the barrel. So that's how you magnetise the barrel. Next part you're going to want to do is place the magnet on the end like that. Then get your super glue. I just had my super glue in my hand, but I was right in front of me. And then just put a small dab of glue onto the end of the magnet. Then you're just going to want to push this in to the green stuff, like so. Then you're going to want to leave that set for 12 hours. Don't pull the barrel out. Just leave that set for 12 hours. So what I'm going to do is now, I'm just going to do the other barrel. Then we'll move on to magnetising the, well, that's it for magnets. Then we'll move on to the rest of the build. So I shall see you in a second. Okay then guys, now that we've done all the magnets for the guns, so here's the turret itself at the moment, taking the gun shield off for the minute. So let's just put the guns back in. That's that one. Then we have that one. Then we have that one. And then we have that one. So that's the guns done now, nearly. Next thing we'll do is do the ammo crates onto the side of the gun. So what we'll do is, you get 2 sets. You get One's the actual hydra, then one's for the mortar. But I don't like the ones you get with the hydra, where they're like an open ammo case. I prefer these, let's just say, boxy ones by here. So I've gone ahead already and I've filed them down, cleaned them up. Well, most of them. I missed a couple of bits. So just clean these up. Okay, which ones did I do clean off? I cleaned off 2 by the looks of it. Yeah, I cleaned off 2. So begin by doing the first 2 together. So my glue will come out. Just melted that as well. Okay, well, I just do my hand now. And do the same again on this one. Don't need a lot of glue, just enough to hold it together. Then just clean off the last 2. Use the thinner but flatter part of this, as you can get into the smaller. You can get in between the parts just to clean them up. There's a bit of flashing in between the components. And it's just this last one, but yeah. Top. So, ready for gluing on. And we got this one left. Glue that one on as well. So that's the ammo crates glued together. Now I'm just going to mount them onto the guns. So they quite simply fix onto these noggins by here. So put a bit of glue on the back of the box, like so. Around where the peg area is, and then these just fix on like so. Same again. One side complete. The next side now. Same process. Just around the peg area, really. That's where it's going to be the strongest. So when it goes around the peg. Then what we'll do now is we'll just re-dry fit the doobie-doo on the tube. The gun shield back on. I'm going to take a hoe, zoom out a bit first bit, so we can just get an idea of roughly how far we are in to the build. So now I've got the main gun assembled. Bit, and it does rotate 360 degrees. Don't I go 365 pound? So next part, we're gonna build the crew. That's a very good next step, that is. do. And I think that's all we got left is the crew, and work our way to suss out how to glue that magnetise the wyvern water barrels. Which might just have to do off cam. Do two off cam again, or do the three off cam and then show you to do the one. That might be the idea I might have to go with. So we do the crew. So for the gunner you're going to need parts 31, 52, 53 and 30. And then for the radio operator with the last, let's get the parts you want pay part 30 first, the body. And the minis are quite nice for these actually, I do like these. Then we want 33 and 32 next. We'll begin by just cleaning up these parts. Don't cut the pegs off the arms, as I believe the arms do slot into them. We might have to trim them off because I did build the gunner with the turret, which you should do. That's another tip for you as well. Build the gunner before you build the gun and dry fit it all together. I should probably find you'll have an easier job than what I will in a minute. Then the two arms. That's quite a big mold line on this. Now I will be gluing this in, as I kind of want to be able to take this off so I can paint it first, and my camera just quit suicide. There's a flop. No, he's still in shot. No, we are miles out of shot now. There we go. So we want to kind of keep it. So the first thing we want to do now is just glue the arms onto the thing. So dab glue around the pegs. And just glue these on. These should only fit on in one way, but they do move. And then on the side, you see, and then bring him back, and you dry fit him. And he actually sits by the one shoulder holder. He sits pretty good in there. So that's a big, nice part about this. And just clean up the head. These heads, they put all these little small antennas on, and then put him. Oh, that's the wrong head. I thought it was. The one without the antenna is the gunner's head. No. And we'll just simply, while he's still mounted in the tank, just apply a double glue and glue his head into place. goes in quite well, as you can see, like that. So that's the gunner done. Next part is going to be the radio operator. So you need parts 36, 40, 39 and 41 for this, and 37. Let's get the body off first, then get the legs out. Well, quite disappointed in that, that's just a heavy weapon leg. I thought we'd resculpt for that. Zoom out a bit. So let's just clean these legs off with a file. So then when we come to sticking on the actual guide to the tank once he's been painted, it will fit better. And you don't want flashing in the way because it doesn't glue as strong. Move all the mold lines. Then we'll do the body. Then we'll do the arms. Just clean off any mold lines and flash in off the arms. So the arms done. Let's just put this together. So body glues on. I don't think there's any specific way it glues together. Oh yeah, there is. You'll see how it goes. It's like a little notch in the side of the body, which will fit. You'll find it when you glue this together. And I think for this bit we are going to need part 41, which is the map script bit. Clean off the sprue. Clean this up. And then if we try fit this together first. This hand, if you look on the bottom by here, my phone's about to die by it looks like. There's a hand there, which goes on the left arm, which will be your left arm. So we'll glue that together now, before we glue it on the model, so it makes it easier just to hold it on. Okay. And that is glued on like so. So that's that bit done. It's a bit hard doing the figures like this. You need to buy, I've just bought a tripod and it's crap. So what we'll do is now we leave that to dry a second. So leave that dry. I'm going to put my phone on charge again. So I'll come back now once those bits have dried. And I got some more battery power in. So see you in a second, guys. Okay then guys, now those parts have dried and I've managed to get some battery life back in my phone. We can now finish off this part of the build series. Well, this will be the end of the build, and then we come on to the painting, which will be in a later video. So, judging by this, they put notches in, but there's no notches on the model. So we're going to begin by gluing on the telescope map thing to torso off there. I'll super glue my hands to the body, the radio operator. That goes on like so. So it goes on like that. So that's that bit done. I'm gluing my hands to the blade cable again. And we'll glue on the next arm. And then that one. I think that one glues on the head. So we'll glue on the head quickly a second. So his fingers look like they touch the radio thing on the side of his head. So there we have it. The radio operator. So he's glued together. And then put them to one side, let him dry. Then we're on to the last bit, and that's basically finishing off the hull. So, one bit I did forget to get out, or get off the sprues, was the front hatch, the driver's port. So, just clip that off now. And then we'll get ready for sticking on the last handful of bits now. And this has been a pretty easy kit, to be honest with you. I don't see any problems when it comes to building this at all, as of most GW's kits. So we're going to begin by gluing on the front hatch. So just put the glue like that. Sits on the front plate of the hull like that. Then we're going to want to glue together the two halves of the heavy bolter. So just run a glue down like that. Just hold it together and put the top piece on. Line it up with all excess glue. And that's the heavy bolter built. Ready? So let that dry before we glue them on. Then we come back to the top of the hull, and in this bit by here is where the smoke launcher goes. So on the two bottom runners of the thing, just put a dab of glue. That was a bit much. It was, but like so. Then line up as rough as you can in the centre there. So that's the smoke launcher glued onto the tank, and then on the side right here we're going to glue a shovel of the vehicle upgrade sprue. So we'll just put 2 dabs of glue into that, and then we will glue that on like that. It will go on. Nope, won't fit there because these two little notches there, so let's stick it on the other side. Okay, there's a bit more glue on the one. So, and then we just thin line of glue. This. I always put thin line of glue where the weapon options are, because in future codexes, if they change what you can have, you can always just pull it off and correct it for the appropriate weapon. So I couldn't find a way to magnetise the wyvern mortar launcher caps onto the front, so I'm just going to leave the barrels as they are to represent it for now. So I'll find a way in the future. So let's put this kit back together. So we have the turret ring, fits in like so. We then have the gunner's position, which slots in. Then we also have the gunner himself, which sits on like so. The gun shield. I can't seem to get back on. Which holds, so that rotates. There's one piece, so that's the front of the tank. We have the wyvern mortars, which doesn't look really no different to the wyvern in that way. You can just see the magnets down the barrels. And then we have the actual hydra flak cannons themselves, which are magnetised to be swappable.